Welcome back to the channel. We'll be looking at Usdjpy for this month, for this weekly analysis that we were looking at. Right now we're just on the monthly, and we can see that we've got this wedge forming right here, and we've actually basically completed it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and potentially the move could be either a breakout, a fake breakout, or a complete breakout to the downside. I'll show you what I mean by just taking it a few steps below. I'll show you what I mean on the week. So the purple is, remember that these purple lines here is the wedge, and these other lines in the shade of black are different key levels. So the darker ones are for time frames that are higher. So this in particular would be a month, and these two would be a daily. A weekly. So we can see right here we've actually closed and broke below the pendant that we've formed, this wedge pattern. So the bias towards my trades for this week is a short, and further towards that we have the EMA converging for a sell condition, and this is much when you see a convergence of EMAs switching over. For me, this personally means it's stronger on a higher time frame. So weekly is a very strong indication that we are in the selling condition for this pair. So when I take it down, we can see that the convergence is going to be further backwards. So like here, as of 9th of May, the convergence can started to change towards a selling condition. So let's talk about what has actually happened in the market on a lower level, and have a look at how my lines have respected along the way. So just by looking at this level here in blue, 109.766, we can see that it has become resistance a few times, and then it eventually became support, and it was able to do that a few times before eventually it burst and then became resistance for the price to shoot further downwards. So I'll show you on the 4-hourly just a bit clearer. Yeah, we can see. So the rejections are much more clearer at this level. As we can see, we've got the huge push downwards for the sellers to come all the way down. So just by looking on the 4-hourly, the next key point would be for targets for going downwards. For the short bias, it would be 107.886 for me. Let me just take it further down for the hourly. So this is where I put a majority of my entries, and we can also see how another key level that I have here as well is respected as it became support. Then eventually it burst back. So we could potentially see a retest eventually at this level at one point, but I'm looking for price to continue to come down here before it bounces back up, or it could literally reverse straight away. So regarding the perfect entry point for us to continue this short, I would want to see price to finish this point and see some sort of exhaustion. As we can see already, we're all currently in exhaustion and oversold conditions on the RSI. So that would, to me, indicate that we could be looking for an upside momentum change for just this week. And what could give me the insight that we are also reversing as well is if we look back to the purple lines again. These the pendant that we've drawn here on the monthly. Normally, what happens when patterns form in a wedge, they typically tend to do the breakdown and then the instant break up. So what I mean by that is price just basically fakes out. So a good example right here is this one here, this price action movement here. So price would come all the way and close and break below the pendant that we formed, but as you can see, it it didn't continue. The sellers didn't continue to go down. It forced the buyers to come into play, and it forced us to create the second part of the pattern in the wedge. So I believe that that is a possible scenario that could happen here. But we just have to wait for the week to plan out. But like I said, there's money to be made both ways when we get the right confirmation between price action. So key levels is obviously important to our understanding and also our entry point. So when looking at your own trades, do be careful to double check that your lines and your key levels are valid and they are making sense as prices moving in the future, sort of thing. So I'm taking down a bit further down to the 1 hour again. So in terms of my projection, we can see that the on the hourly we are in oversold conditions, but if we take to the 4 hour, we're also in oversold conditions. So I will not be surprised if we do get some sort of retest here. We may even get some sort of confluence where price is to come up to this level, because this is also a key level, and we also have our bottom level of the pennant that we have of the wedge pattern. So this could also give us the intention for the price to go further down, or it could, like I said, be the blip where price just instantly goes down, like down, and then straight back up. So we have to just wait until we get the confirmation and the price to see what it is exactly like in this area here before we make the final conclusion. But the best possible scenario, if things are working and we do get the retest and we do get confirmation, potential scenario would be like this towards our next key levels. Do we have one? Yes, probably towards so this would be the next monthly target, towards the downside here. But like I said, we have to get the right confirmation and the right confluences before price does continue to go downwards. But like I said, make sure you do double check your own trades, and make sure you find your own confluences as well with your trading strategy, and make sure risk management is also taken into consideration. So yeah, that will be my sort of analysis for this week, and hopefully we do get the push down to the downside, but I think it's likely that we will see a retest on the bottom level of this trend line that we've got up here on the pennant. I'm going to show you on the weekly. So the retest, what I mean is on this purple line here before we get the all heads down. It won't go that far down, but it's just the analogy that I'm trying to create with the retest. So yeah, that's all for this week, and we'll see what happens next week, and we'll do a breakdown of exactly what happened and see if my key levels still matched the price action. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one.